And we are live. Good evening, everyone. Tonight, we will be discussing how artists such as Nas, Katy Perry, Jason Derulo, Pusha T, and various other artists and executives in the music industry have started making large investments into the decentralized music streaming platform Audius, which is also an NFT platform as well. If you've been following me on this channel, I have been making the prediction that it's going to be the NFT space that takes crypto and makes it into a mainstream household brand. Right now, everyone's focused on digital art in the NFT space, but the technology has far reaching expectations and potential than just JPEGs in art. And I've been saying that time and time again. When you think about the NFT music space and a video streaming platform like a YouTube or a music streaming platform like a Spotify, and taking that business model and taking cryptography and crypto and putting crypto in that space, that's going to be extremely, extremely huge. See, as I say time and time again, the whole purpose of this technology it is designed to remove middlemen and counterparty risk. Well, most people they look at Bitcoin and they say, "Oh my God, that technology is fascinating." Yes, that's great. We can decentralize finance and we can remove bankers and institutions. But now start thinking about platforms like Spotify and iTunes and thinking about accountants and publishing companies and all of the people that are middlemen in the music industry, in the entertainment industry. And then I want you to think about if we could remove them and just allow code to be the middleman and allow artists to have more control over their content, over the distribution of their content, and being able to remove all of those people that sit in the middle and go directly to the consumer. So now, when you start thinking about NFTs, which stands for a non fungible token, and you start understanding that now, not only does that change the relationship between the artists and corporations by removing those corporations, but then it changes the relationship between the consumer and the actual artist. Because now, when I purchase your music, when I purchase your video, when I purchase your actual art, I now own that and I can prove that I own it with cryptography. And then now what I can do is I can hold this as a collector's item or I can go out here and resell it. So now you're creating digital scarcity on the internet. You're able to monetize your fans in ways that you could never do with these traditional streaming platforms. But then now the fan, rather than just owning a song, I actually can go out here and resell it in the aftermarket. So shouts out to Nas and people like Pusha T who are forward looking. Yes, there will be hiccups along the way. Yes, there will be stumbling blocks because this is new technology in terms of the implications. The technology is old in terms of cryptography and blockchain technology and distributed ledger technology. But the blending of this technology and what this technology can do is fairly new. And Nas has had a pretty good run recently in regards to investing in the crypto space. He's made a significant amount of money by being an early venture capitalist investor in Coinbase as well. So when you think about NFTs, I know everyone's talking to you about the craze of the week about art and people flipping JPEGs. But again, I really want you to start thinking about the fact that this going into the music industry and getting into the entertainment industry in general, this is what's going to take crypto from being a $2 trillion niche industry to being a 10 plus $1 trillion industry. So please do me a favor as you come into the live stream. Please like, share, and subscribe. Make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you can be notified when I am going live. Also, in the description below, there is a link to join my mailing list because YouTube doesn't send out my notifications to all of my subscribers. So simply click that link, enter in your name and email information, and this way I'll be able to email you and notify you prior to me going live. Also, you can follow me on Instagram, shoot me a DM if you would like to dialogue. And if you're someone that's interested in learning about this technology and the power of this technology, I created My Tech Academy. We currently have a free 3-day trial. You are welcome to come and test it out to see if you like it. As long as you cancel it within the first 3 days, you will not be charged. What do we cover in My Tech Academy? We cover all things crypto in terms of how to buy, how to sell, how to store crypto, how to actually put together and structure a balanced portfolio. We dive into the underlying technology. We have a coding bootcamp going on. We even cover NFTs. We cover all things crypto. So if you're someone that's new, that's even if you're experienced and you're just looking to be a part of a community of people who is actually using the technology, investing in the technology on a daily basis, we have My Tech Academy. And again, we have a free 3-day trial. You're welcome to test it out. For those of you that's actually members or you're looking to become a member because you've already tested it out, we currently have a lifetime membership. The price is going up. You have 4 days to take advantage of the current price. As Fat Joe said, yesterday's price is not today's price. My platform is growing. My students are making money. They're having success. So the price is going up. So if you're interested in becoming a lifetime member, when you come to this page, make sure you click the tab at the top and become a lifetime member. Because trust me when I tell you, when Monday comes, the price is going up. All right. So if that being said, guys, as you can, if you can see and hear me clearly, simply type 1 and we can get started. There we go. Okay, we can get started. So let's get into the article. A lot of information to share with you guys tonight. Katy Perry, Nas, and Jason Derulo are investing big in a Spotify rival. The blockchain-powered streaming startup Audius is about to announce a multi-million-dollar investment round funded by a dizzying number of superstar artists and top of the food chain music executives. When, zoom in, right here. So when you play a song on major streaming platforms, money doesn't zoom straight into an artist's pocket. But what if it did? That's how payments are designed to work on Audius, a platform built on a blockchain. Yes, the same technological network that NFTs run on. I want you to think about that too. When we talk about streaming payments directly into your bank account, follow me here. In crypto, for those of you who do not know, we have what is known as a wallet. And you have a public key and you have a private key. Your public key is similar to your email address, and your private key is similar to your password. What you do is you give people your public key so that they can then know who you are. And again, it's pseudo-anonymous, so your identity is not attached to the public key. And don't worry if you don't understand that. I'm just giving you a general overview. So now, because you can do micropayments in crypto, because you can go below a sub penny, now, as a person is actually listening to your music and streaming it, rather than going from the consumer to a corporation and then having to wait 30 or 60 days for the corporation to pay you and then go into your actual record label, now, right as the consumer is listening to your music, you could have micropayments being streamed directly right into your wallet. Because now, rather than having corporations sit there, you actually have code known as a smart contract. What are smart contracts? Smart contracts are contracts that are public, that are open for the world to see, that actually sit on top of the blockchain. So now imagine if artists didn't have to have a team of lawyers, a team of accountants to look over everything. Imagine if there was a standard contract for all new artists. And then if you was a mid-tier artist, there would be a standard contract for you. And if you are a superstar, there would be a superstar contract. Because for years, for decades, we've heard about artists, whether it was NWA, whether it was Motown, whether it was TLC, that were robbed by their management, that were robbed by their record labels, that were robbed by lawyers or accountants, because most creatives don't have time to be overlooking everything every step of the way. So now when I talk about code living on the blockchain, and don't worry, I'm going to read the article and go back and forth because I want to teach you and give you some general knowledge as we go through. This right here is etherscan.io. And this is the smart contract right here for Chainlink. And as you can see right here, literally, this is what the code will look like. Now, again, I don't expect you to understand this. I want to give you the concept. This is the standard smart contract. This code will execute. This is a basic if-then statement. If a consumer listens to my song, smart contract executes. That's the if part. Then this happens. If you listen to my music, then X amount of payments gets streamed directly into my wallet. Again, this is a much more efficient way of doing business. I want you to understand that when you think about streaming right now, almost 90% of the revenue that artists generate from streaming goes to the record label, goes to the streaming platform, and other services. The artist really only gets between 10 and 12% of the actual revenue that they're generating on these platforms in terms of streaming. Most artists, when we think about musicians, they make a bulk of their money from touring. But guess what? They can't tour anymore because we have a pandemic going on. So right now, a lot of artists are struggling to even make ends meet because off of 1 million streams, they may make $5,000. So the way that the streaming platform is set up is it's designed to enrich the record labels. It's designed to enrich the streaming platform and all of the services built around it. And as we go through this fourth industrial revolution, where everything is becoming digital, that's going to be extremely predatory on the actual artists. So when you see people like Nas and Pusha T pushing more ownership and pushing more control of the creative process and over how you monetize your fans, I'm telling you, this is only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And having auditable code, so we don't have to meet in a room in private with a bunch of attorneys who they're going to say things to you that you don't understand. No, we can have one standard smart contract for all new artists. That is going to be extremely powerful because now you don't have to trust that your attorney or your accountant is doing the right thing. You can verify it with code. Extremely powerful. Let's get back to the article. And this 3-year-old San Francisco-based company that employs fewer than 40 crypto-crazed people has officially piqued the interest of some of music's biggest power players. Later today, September 16th, Audius will announce a $5 million round of strategic funding led by music celebrities, the team exclusively tells Rolling Stone. Artist investors include Katy Perry, Nas, the Chainsmokers via the Mantis VC, Jason Derulo, Pusha T, Steve Aoki, Linkin Park's Mike Shinoda, and Disclosure. Now, they have a whole list of other people here that I'm not going to dive into, but as you can imagine, when you see that news came out, Audius took off like a rocket. It's currently sitting at $2.84. Now, again, I sit up here and I talk to you guys all the time about the opportunity that you have as an early adopter of this technology by being an early investor in this technology. When we look at the market cap right now, the market cap is simply $1.1 billion. This platform is a baby. The opportunity to make money, you're talking about potentially 10, 15, 20 times on your money if this thing actually can mature into what we want it to. Now, understand, investing is risky, right? And you should only be investing what you can afford to lose. But I just want to compare this right now to Spotify, a $1 billion market cap for Audius. When you come over here and you look at Spotify, Spotify's market cap is $46 billion with the B. So it's 46 times larger than the opportunity right now with Audius. That's how early we are in crypto. Now, I want you to think about it. You have cryptocurrencies like Dogecoin that have no utility. That's worth $30 billion. You have garbage like Ripple that's worth $50 billion. And then you have a platform like Audius that's only worth $1 billion. The reason why is because crypto's mainly dominated by dumb retail investors. But understand, as more sophisticated and savvy players and institutional investors get in, they're not buying Dogecoin. They're not buying Ripple. They're investing in projects like Audius. They're investing in platforms like Ethereum, platforms like Solana. They're investing in middleware like Chainlink. They're not playing in Dogecoin. This is why I sit up here and I emphasize to you guys, you don't have to go out here and chase pump and dumps to make significant gains in crypto. I've been telling you about the potential and the power of Audius since it was trading at 40 cents. It's now at $2.84, and it still has a major room to run. That's what we're facing right now with crypto by being early investors. So back to the article. It says, Rolling Stone asked the veteran chief executive Bandier, who's watched the biz hit the highest of highs and the lowest of lows in his multi-decade career, what drew him in? Blockchain, which I understand to be transparent and to be an immutable ledger of transactions, should benefit songwriters and creatives in a way beyond what the current system permits. Bandier says, adding that while he would never pretend to be an expert, here his 32-year-old son Max has been following crypto developments and advising him. Songwriters need more avenues for revenue, and this model should help expedite payments for their music as it streams across the world. Now follow me. This is another aspect of crypto, the idea of something being decentralized. So therefore, there isn't a CEO or a executive team that actually owns the network. The network is distributed across multiple parties. So now, because of that, you don't have to worry about getting on a platform and them changing their policy or changing their terms. So today they're only taking 30%, but the next thing you know, once they get more of you in here, because you've watched this with iTunes, you've watched this with Spotify, you've watched this with Uber, where when they first start out, come on in. This is a new, beautiful platform. We're going to give you so much of your of the revenue you generate. And then slowly but surely, once you turn Uber and iTunes and Spotify into a major corporation, then they change the rules of the game on you, right? The rules of the game, where now, instead of taking 20%, they're taking 30, they're taking 40, they're taking 50. And they slowly creep up this way because what they want to do, they want to use you so that they can get the branding, they can get the name recognition. And then after that, they then jack up the fees on you. In a decentralized network, in a peer-to-peer network, the users of the network have control and have say over the direction that the network goes. And then when you start thinking about cancel culture and you start thinking about this idea that these platforms, because they have so much control and they're centralized, such as Spotify and iTunes, if they want, you really can't, artists can't really see the actual metrics and data. So therefore, they can manipulate this data when you're on a platform like Spotify. How do you know if you only got 1 million streams? How do you know if you only got 2 million or 5 million? You really don't know. As an artist, you have to take their word for it because they control all of the data and they control the metrics behind the scenes. When we think about cancel culture, think about a person like Tory Lanez, who, oh, by the way, just sold 1 million NFTs, who went around the system and basically utilized this technology for what it is. When you have cancel culture, and him and Megan Thee Stallion get into the issue that they're having, and again, I'm not saying he's innocent or guilty, but with cancel culture, these platforms can deplatform you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Or what they can do is just make it where people can't see your content. They can put it on the bottom of the page or make it not show up on the homepage because it's a centralized corporation. So therefore, they have control over what people see. And basically, they have control over your money and whether or not you get it and how much of it that you get. In a decentralized peer-to-peer network, it's all governed by the people that are actually using the network. And now, as I said, you don't have to trust you can verify because everything is based upon code. It's not based upon whether or not someone likes you, whether or not you're towing the line and you're saying the things that the industry wants you to say. You don't have to go out here now and wear a dress to impress people, to be a part of the crowd. You no longer have to go out here and represent political agendas that you may not agree with, because now you can go directly to your consumer. And follow me here. When we start thinking about NFTs and non-fungible tokens, you really only need 1,000 people to really make a living as an artist. Because now what you can start doing when you're creating content is you can create unique content just for your specific community. And now you can start tokenizing your brand and tokenizing your actual content. Follow me here. Two pieces of content, no two pieces of content is the same. So you may have one song that you may want to give away to your community for free. And then you can layer music on top of that. So now you can have certain songs that are $5 or other songs that may be $10. And if a person buys the $10 song, not only do they get a unique piece of art, but they get tickets to your concerts, or they get to meet you in person. So now what you can start doing is you can create a roadmap for your actual NFT. So now it creates an aftermarket where people want to keep investing in the community and in the culture. You may have even merch associated with your actual NFT. So now a person's actually buying into the brand and they actually can feel like they own something in the brand because they can go out here now and resell the NFTs that they're investing in. You can have geographic specific NFTs where, for example, let's say Jadakiss and the Locks right now, they just had the versus battle with Dipset. Well, guess what? You can create a special 1,000 collector's items, digital versions of that NFTs for only that particular event. So only the people that was at that actual event can have those actual songs, the actual merch that you're selling. Now follow me, because I know what you're saying. Well, if something's digital, anyone can copy it. Yes, they can, but they can't prove ownership. See, this is where cryptography comes into play. Remember, I said you have a public key and you have a private key. Follow me here. So now when you have your private key, only you have access to that private key as long as you don't give it to someone, right? And it's unique to that particular wallet. So I can now go on the blockchain and I can verify that only the person with this private key is the actual owner of that song, of that art piece. That's the power of cryptography. You can prove ownership. So for example, when you look at the Mona Lisa, that's a unique piece of art, but anyone can go and copy it. Anyone can go out here and take a picture of it or try to recreate it, but it's unique in terms of the brushstrokes, right? There's only one Mona Lisa. Well, now with cryptography, we can create digital scarcity where you can say this private key is affiliated with this one piece of unique digital art or this one song that this individual has. And I can prove it because I'm the only one that has the private key, and I can prove it with my digital signature. This is extremely important because as we go forward, as I said earlier, everything is going to be digital. So being able to prove digital ownership is extremely huge. So let's get back to the article. Bandier was also attracted to Audius because it's not simply a Spotify 2.0. Streaming is just one small, albeit meaningful part of its business model, he points out. The blockchain is enabling entirely new revenue streams for artists and creators like NFTs, social currency, and curation. Audius is not only using the blockchain to add potentially significant revenue streams for artists, but it also allows them to cooperatively own the platform itself. With monetized streams on Audius, 90% of earnings move in real time, with 10% going to the community that makes the system run. So think about it. We're flipping the business model on its head. Rather than going from artist, corporation, lawyer, accountant, management to another corporation, we're going artists, 90% of the revenue to the artist, right? When you actually stream their content, right, you don't have to worry about all of those middlemen getting a piece of it. 90% of the revenue can go directly to the artist, and 10% can go to the actual community or the people who are making it run in terms of validating transactions within the network and providing security to the network. That's the power of NFTs, peer to peer, going from artist to consumer, from consumer to artist, and the artists be able to keep a majority of the things that they're creating. Now, currently, and I'm about to play this T-Pain clip so T-Pain can tell you that the music platforms, the corporations, and all of the services around them, they're keeping about 88 to 90% of the revenue that's being generated on these streaming platforms. So, right here, let's listen to what T-Pain had to say and hear it right out of his mouth. He was on Drink Champs when he said this.
Wow. 12 fucking %. Wow. All artists. Wow. I don't know if you've been on the Discovery page of Spotify lately. It's a lot of fucking artists right now. There's more artists than ever. There's more artists than chairs in the world right now. Made $17 billion last year.
I believe it, yeah.
You know how much artists made of that?
No.
12%.
Yeah.
Wow. 12 fucking %.
Wow.
All artists. Wow. I don't know if you've been on the Discovery page of Spotify lately. It's a lot of fucking artists right now.
There's more artists than ever.
There's more artists than chairs in the world right now. Labels made $17 billion last year.
I believe it, yeah.
You know how much artists made of that?
No.
12%.
Yeah.
Wow. 12 fucking %.
Wow.
All artists. Wow. I don't know if you've been on the Discovery page of Spotify lately. It's a lot of fucking artists right now.
There's more artists than ever.
There's more artists than chairs in the world right now.
I mean, he's funny for saying that, but it's true. There's more artists than ever. And with technology, it makes it so much easier now for creatives to create content. But you have these parasites in the middle. You have these corporations in the middle that they're sucking all of the creative talent, the power, the revenue from these artists. Also, think about it. When you're creating NFTs, you can create what is known as a drop. So therefore, you don't have to listen to your management team in terms of, I have to put 12 songs on this album and I have to make 3 of them radio, ready for radio, and 3 real good singles. You can layer your content however you see fit. You can drop content. You could drop 1 song every month and create merch around that. You can create art around that. And you can create what is known as a drop. There's a platform called Nifty Gateway. And they have these exclusive drops that happen every day. So as an artist, rather than trying to put together an album, you can really put together an entire marketing campaign just around 1 song, right? And now you can have a shoe release. You can have a sneaker release. You can have a concert based around that. You don't have to do the traditional business model of every 2 years I make an album and I have to go on a tour, because right now the only way that artists really monetize their brand is really by going on tour. Well, now what we can do is we can create different ways of monetizing our brand. And then, as I said before, allowing the fan to be able to really interact and engage with you in a different way, where you can have like live Zoom calls with the 10 people or the 50 people that purchase your NFT. So therefore, now it creates an incentive for people to want to buy the NFT, and then it creates a resale market, because now, if I'm a super fan of yours, and let's say I own this NFT, well, guess what? I may be a fan as well, or she may be a fan as well, and she may want access. Well, guess what? There's only 100 tokens. So how would that person be able to get access now to that unique event that you have? They have to go into the marketplace and buy one of those tokens from someone that already owns the token. That's the power of being able to tokenize assets, and that's the power of blockchain technology. Really, 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 really big. Let's go back here and read a little bit more. It says, I believe blockchain might be the most important technology to ever hit the music industry, Nas says in a statement provided to Rolling Stone. Everyone who uploads to Audius can be an owner. You can't say that about any other platform. Bandier is on the same page. Historically, the music business has tended to be slow to uptake the technological shifts, often fighting rather than embracing them. I do think blockchain is likely to be a commanding force in further empowering creators and more deeply engaging direct artist fan relationships. I keep telling you guys, this technology is the implications of this technology and the use cases of this technology is far greater than Bitcoin. When Satoshi created Bitcoin, that was great. He solved the double spending problem. The double spending problem was basically where anytime a person would do commerce on the internet, you always had to trust a third party to actually hold the currency, to hold the money, right? So by using cryptography now and using distributed ledger technology and using hash functions, you can now prove ownership without having to actually trust the third party. That's what Satoshi was able to do with money. Well, now smart people said, great. Well, we can apply that to digital art, digital music. We can apply that to borrowing, lending. We can apply that to mortgages. There's so many different use cases for this technology besides just sending currency back and forth. Because I wouldn't even call a lot of these cryptocurrencies currencies. I call them digital assets because they all have different use cases. Like you have Audius right here, that's a streaming platform, but it's utilizing certain aspects of the blockchain so that we can decentralize certain business models, but then also utilizing some centralization as well in different parts. So I think that going forward, this is going to be huge. Now, for those of you who are interested in getting involved with Audius, Audius currently has, I believe, about 6 million users and 50 million, unique listeners every single month. And right on cue, they also have a partnership with TikTok, right? So, in the first streaming service to partner with TikTok it's the blockchain powered Audius. Rather than Spotify or Apple Music that will let artists upload songs into TikTok's sound kit in one click. So rather than TikTok using Spotify or iTunes, they decided to go with Audius. So if the music streaming landscape were a horse race, Audius would be a multicolored pygmy unicorn. The young blockchain powered service may be hard to spot in the dust that trails stallions like Spotify and Apple Music, but it has been steadily making headway since its arrival in 2018. As crypto emerged as a pop culture buzzword in 2021, though Audius grew significantly, rising from less than 1 million monthly active users to almost 5 million in August. On Monday, company execs tell Rolling Stone Audius will take a big jump forward, revealing the first of its kind partnership with TikTok that lets its artists quickly and directly upload their music to TikTok's sound kit. Any artist can take a song they already have on Audius and just export it over to TikTok in one click, Forrest Browning, Audius co-founder and chief product officer, says. While there are already ways to get music on TikTok without the help from a streaming platform, the process is clunky. As Browning puts it, teenagers producing in their bedrooms might not even have distributors. He points out, a common way that unsigned artists get their stuff up there right now is by holding their phone up to their laptop while it plays their song and they add it as background music. It's not great. Now follow me here. This is important too, because there used to be a platform called SoundCloud. And then eventually they went and they did the licensing deal with Warner, and they basically messed up that platform with copyrights and a bunch of frivolous, copyright infringement. But now you don't need to be signed to a major platform. Think about how things go viral on the internet. Well, TikTok's a platform of people basically going on there and they're doing dances and they're doing certain challenges. Well, now imagine as a creative, if you don't have to sign a record deal, you don't have to go through the traditional ways of doing business. You can just simply go viral, upload your song, and people can start downloading and engaging in your content right there. And now when you're streaming this content going forward, you can have these royalties and things be paid to you directly in your wallet. And as I said, micropayments are going to be huge. So think about rather than me having, like right now on YouTube, if you donate to me and you put a super chat in here, YouTube takes 30% of that. And then I have to wait 30 days for YouTube to give me my money. Now, if in the process of that, if within these 30 days I do something that YouTube doesn't like, they can freeze my payment and not pay me at all. Well, with a decentralized platform and a network, and with micropayments being streamed directly to you, now as you're watching my content, that ad revenue comes straight into my wallet. Now, if you donate to me through a through cryptography and through the blockchain, I can now have that super chat come directly to me. That's the power of leveraging this space in the way that people are trying to leverage it. I also want to share this with you right here, because this is huge. When I saw this, I said, oh my God, I couldn't believe this. It says another daily reminder of how much you'll make from streaming services for 1 million plays. On Spotify, for 1 million plays, you would get anywhere from $3,500 to $4,000. So $3,500 to $4,000 is what you'll get on Spotify. On Apple, you'll get about $5,000 to up to $5,500. On Tidal, you'll get $12,000. On Google Play, you'll get $16K. Deezer, $4,700. Amazon, $5,000. So as you can see, for 1 million plays, that's chump change. That's peanuts. Because what's happening here, if you come down here, this right here shows you what's going on. Right? Spotify, right here. This is what T-Pain was talking about. Spotify keeps 88%. Between Spotify, the record labels, and back office services, they get 88% of that. The artists only get 12% of what they're actually generating on these platforms. With Audius, 10% goes to the network operators, and 90% goes to the actual artists. That's going to be huge. And when you look at this, I love this infographic right here. Zoom out a little bit better. Right? This basically is a breakdown between, this is the $42 billion industry, right? You have the platform costs, you have the record label, you have EBITDA distribution of the platform, cost of concerts, manager, concert agent, retail markup, collection fees, concert promoter, record producer. This is all the artists can actually make right here of this pie. So you can see out of this $42 billion that's being generated, most of it's going to everyone else, all of these people in the middle. And right now, because we're in this pandemic, and right now because people can't tour, this is even worse, because they can't go on tour and actually make the money that they wanted to make. So having these streaming platforms be in the middle with everything going digital is going to be extremely problematic going forward. This is why, as more and more people become aware of NFTs, which stands for non-fungible tokens, as more and more people become aware of crypto and the things that crypto can do for them, you're going to see more people like Nas and Pusha T and Jason Derulo get involved in here. All it takes is one major artist, like a Drake, a Nicki Minaj, a Little Baby, to come over here and get onto one of these platforms, and it's going to go viral. You right now have the opportunity to get involved, and this opportunity is only worth $1 billion. It's a baby in comparison to Spotify, that's worth $46 billion. Now, will there be competitors in this space? Absolutely. Will there be new innovations in crypto? Absolutely. I'm not telling you to run out and buy Spotify. I'm trying to get you to understand the opportunity that's in front of you in terms of being an early investor in solid projects and not garbage like Dogecoin. Now, follow me. Look what's happening with the baby right now. This is the problem with centralization. He came on stage and he made some remarks about the LGBTQ plus community. Whether you agree with it or disagree with it, that's not the purpose of this statement. No one company or corporation or music festival, right, should be able to have the power to not only block you from their platform, but then collude with other people to reduce your streams or to remove your music. That's the problem of cancel culture. In a decentralized peer-to-peer network, As long as your fans want to consume your content, they'll be able to consume your content. That's the power of decentralization, removing gatekeepers and removing middlemen from out the way. Because at the end of the day, code is law in crypto, not people. So with that being said, I'll take a few questions right now. Come into the chat and see what you guys are talking about, because I don't want to make this go longer than an hour. I'm going to start condensing our live streams down to 1 hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes. Those percentages are soul stealers. Absolutely. I mean, it's mind boggling that, like, and remember, I was diving into this information briefly, and I was just like, I can't believe that these streaming platforms are taking 80 to 90%. Well, not just the platform, but between the platform and the record labels and the services, they're taking 88 to 90% of the artist revenue. That's crazy. The possibilities are endless. Absolutely. Absolutely. The competitor, Spotify's worth $45 billion. It's insane. You can purchase it through Uniswap. And again, you need a MetaMask wallet in order to be able to do that. You need some Ethereum for gas fees in order to be able to do that. Because right now, Audius is on both Solana, like there's aspects of the blockchain that's on the Solana blockchain, and there's other aspects that's on top of the Ethereum blockchain. So you can use Uniswap to go and get your hands on Audius. And again, if you don't know how to do that, that's why we have My Tech Academy. That's why I created the academy. We have a free 3-day trial. If you want to, you can come and scam me, sign up, and cancel the membership the same day if you want to learn how to buy these cryptocurrencies, even like Telcoin and these different things. You need to know how to copy the contract address, go onto Uniswap or SushiSwap, and be able to buy these cryptocurrencies. And this is why I created the academy, so that you can be in a safe space and learn and educate yourself so that you can know how to do these things, because you don't want to wait till a lot of these things get to Coinbase and then start buying them. A smart thing to do is that you want to get into these projects before they hit Coinbase, so that then once they hit Coinbase, you're already in it. Like, think about it. I always use this analogy. Like, you don't want to chase a wave. So I watch so many people, they get on things after it's already up 100, 200, 300, 400%, after Elon Musk is tweeting about it. Instead, what you want to do, if I'm surfing, right? Oh, I just want to ride the wave, right? So I'm going to park myself in the ocean, right? And I know that there's a tsunami on the other side of the island. I just got to sit here and wait. And that's what I tell you guys. That's my investing philosophy. I just simply wait on the other side of the island and wait for the tsunami to come and get me and take me where I need to go. I know the money's coming. I know there's idiots in Dogecoin that are 50%. They're down 50%. I know that there's idiots in Ripple that's down 80%. And I know that the smart people, they're looking at that, they're saying, I'm not messing with that Dogecoin. And they want to get in crypto. They're just looking for a good opportunity. Well, I'm in the good opportunity. I'm in the Rens. I'm in the chain links. I'm in the polka dots. I'm in the Audiuses. So now I just sit here and I just wait. And once the wave come, I let the wave take me to wherever it needs to take me. That's what smart investors are doing. Now, again, if you want to gamble and play with your Dogecoin and the Shiba swaps and the Shibas, that's great. You do that. I'd rather play this game. I'd rather play the game that actually, sit here and wait for the good money, because I know that institutional money is going to pump this, right? And this is how I can make 70 times on my money. This is how I end up making 50 times on my money, because I invest my money in good projects that have lower market caps, and I just sit and wait and just let it take me where it needs to take me. Mm-hmm. Can you talk about high gas fees? Gas fees are going to be high because of network utilization. Remember, you're talking about a blockchain, right? Blockchains are databases, and every block has transactions in it. So you're competing for block space. Miners are only going to pick up, because you have a base fee now with EIP 1559. So miners are only going to pick up the transactions that have the highest amount of fees. So gas fees are high because people are using the network. That's the way things are designed. So right now, until EIP 1559 comes out, then we're going to have a lot of congestion in the network because people want to transact on Ethereum because of the network effect. Follow me here. Now what's happening, and a lot of people don't know about this, and I did a presentation in the Academy about this, we have something known as a layer 2 scaling solution. This is very important. So Arbitrum is a layer 2 scaling solution that utilizes ZK rollups, where you take the computation off chain and basically batch transactions together, and then you're only going to bring back the hash of that utilizing ZK rollups. That's going to significantly reduce Ethereum gas fees. But the problem is a lot of these dApps, they have not properly been able to integrate into Arbitrum. Remember, you are an early adopter. The fees are supposed to be high. The interface is supposed to suck because you're investing before these things get fixed. You're investing before we actually can realize the potential of these things. If you wait until gas fees are cheap, if you wait until we have the best user interfaces, then you're going to miss out on all of the significant gains, right? We're making these significant gains because we're investing in the future vision. So yes, gas fees are high, but as we add more layer 2 scaling solutions, as we go out here and build Ethereum 2.0 with the beacon chain and 64 sharded versions of the chain, then gas fees are going to dramatically be reduced. But right now, the fees are going to be high. I want you to think about if you go back to the AOL dial-up days where you couldn't use your home phone while being on the internet, right? Compare that then to where we are right now. Look how seamless Wi-Fi is now to use it. Most people couldn't even envision that back when they was using AOL and dial-up, where they had the disc that you had to put in there and you get that sound. Most people couldn't envision a world where you can walk around with a mobile device like a phone with a computer in your pocket. So you have to be forward looking. You can't get so caught up into, well, these platforms may suck right now or the fees might be really, really high. Because what happens is people are innovating as we go forward. And one of the biggest problems, like for example, you have blockchains like Solana, who they're touting that they can do all of these transactions, 400,000 transactions per second. And they can do, all of this, and the fees can be really, really cheap. Well, they go out here and they try to do it because they're sacrificing aspects of decentralization and then end up having to shut their network down. Right? Because blockchains are inherently designed to be slow. They're designed to be expensive because you're paying for immutability. You're paying for censorship resistance, right? So you may have to pay more to have more control. You may have to pay more to have more privacy. You may have to pay more to have more, censorship resistance and control over a network. I think I would rather pay more for a quality product that I can own and control and even pay higher fees than want cheap fees, but have companies fuck the artists over, or have companies take my data, take my privacy, track everything I do, and report it back to the government. So if I have to pay a little bit more to have more control over a Web3 architecture, I will actually want to do that. I'd rather have decentralization and control and pay more than have something be cheap or free. Because understand, whenever something is free, you are the product, right? See, when you use Facebook and you use Instagram, they are tracking and tracing and monitoring everything you do. How long do you spend on a picture? How much do you reshare a picture? How long do you scroll? And it's all designed to keep you on that platform and turn you into revenue. So understand that whenever something is free, there's no such thing as free. You are the product, and they will take your data. They will manipulate the things you see. So going forward, if we truly want to have any type of freedom, any type of liberty, we need to start thinking more in terms of, even if we have to pay more, what's the trade-off, right? Because if the trade-off is something is free and cheap, but they're spying on me and they're following me everywhere I'm going, and they're manipulating the public, then I don't want that free. I'd rather pay. Thanks for the donation, VS Wise. Thanks for the donation, Alexander Wilson. With 18 million supply, do you think XMR will ever compete with the big two because of its privacy aspect? Absolutely not. Monero, in my opinion, is not a store of value. They may sell it as that. To me, Monero is more of a utility coin that people will use as an actual currency, where they would just trade it back and forth and around because the aspects of privacy that they give you. But Monero is going to face a lot of problems in terms of a lot of exchanges. The SEC is coming, the feds are coming, the governments are coming across the world, and they're going to try to clamp down on crypto in a major way. So I can see exchanges definitely delisting Monero because it's too good. Monero is the greatest cryptocurrency when it comes to privacy. And as more and more people, come into this space, and as more and more regulators come into the space, they're going to come after the exchanges like Binance and other exchanges that may be trying to list Monero. So Monero is a solid project, a great piece of technology, but I use Monero simply to transact. I don't store any of my wealth in Monero. Monero to me is I look at it as like a privacy currency. I don't look at it as a store of value. Now, can it go up? Everything's going to go up. From here, we have a $2 trillion market cap. I expect by the end of Q4 we should be at $3.5 to $5 trillion, right? So everything's going to go up. I'm just telling you how I view it. I don't view Monero. I own Monero. I use it to transact. I don't really hold Monero because I think it's going to go up insane in value. Thank you for the donation, big man. Says whenever something is free, you are the product. That's deep, Eli. 100%. A lot of people don't understand what these companies and corporations do with your data and how they manipulate your data and manipulate the things you see. And they, like, for example, I'll be sitting here and I'll start talking about something, and all of a sudden I'll start getting ads. That's because my phone is listening to me. Like, people think that Siri is only listening to you when you turn it on. No, they're listening to everything you're saying. It came out about 2 years ago that Facebook was accessing people's camera without them even knowing it, right? Like these phones are spying on everything you're doing. Even there's like certain known as geofencing, right? And geo-targeting. So you'll be walking in certain areas, and if you start scrolling on your Facebook or scrolling down on your Instagram timeline, you'll start seeing ads for those particular stores that's around you. How do you think that they know how to target you once you come within a certain distance of a certain shopping district? That's because they're tracking you, right? So understand, because remember, when you give them permission and you get that long terms and agreement, you're signing up for a whole bunch of shit that you don't even know you're signing up for. And they're tracking, tracing, and monitoring everything you're doing. And it's all designed to turn you into a battery, like the Matrix, where they can suck you of every single dollar that you have and keep you consuming. But you're consuming. There's nothing wrong with consuming. But then these parasites that sit in the middle, these corporations, they don't break bread with the artists. They don't break bread with the creatives. They don't break bread with the fashion designers. They give them crumbs. And this is why so much wealth and resources is sucked up to the top, because the distribution model between how we go from consumer to the creators, we have to always go from consumer to corporation, merchant, corporation, attorney, lawyer, back to the creatives, back to the talent. Imagine a world where we can just transact peer to peer, a much fairer and transparent world. Not saying it's perfect, but just a world where everyone understands the rules to the game rather than you dictating. And just imagine, like, for example, GameStop. You're thinking that you're sticking it to the man, you're creating a short squeeze, and then boom, Robin Hood just comes out of nowhere and said you can't buy anymore, you only can sell. They changed the rule. That's like playing a football game, and in the middle of the football game, you're up by 4 touchdowns. They take the ball away and give you a basketball in the middle of the game. That's what they did with Robinhood, because Melvin Capital was losing too much money. I believe it was Melvin Capital or something like that. That was the problem. And that's the problem with centralization, because, again, it allows parasites to control things and manipulate things in their favor. So even when you win at their expense, they rig the game so that they're win. And that's one of the biggest problems with the way that with things going on. I like what Malachi just said. Surveillance capitalism, absolutely. And the funny thing about it is if you go back to John D. Rockefeller, he stated that competition is a sin, right? These people don't believe in true free markets and competition. They don't believe in free market capitalism. They believe in rigging the system in their favor so that they can always get a deterministic outcome, right? They want to make sure that every time they win, right? So even when you think that you're going to get a win, yeah, we'll give you some crumbs, but they're going to always rig the game where they win, where they can always extract as much as they possibly can from you. This is why decentralization is so important. And people get mad at me when I talk about garbage like Dogecoin and Ripple. It's because it pisses me off because I sit up here and I understand that we are in dangerous times right now, right? Like these people are hardcore. They're not playing with us. And if we don't get serious about innovating and creating the whole idea of being a cypherpunk is using cryptography to give more privacy and control to the individual, because people who understood where we were going with e-commerce and what the internet was going to become wanted to be able to use this technology to give us more privacy and control. If we don't get grasp of this, dark days are coming. We're going to live in a centralized, vertically integrated society where government and corporations control everything. Everything. And you don't want to live in that world, especially in a cashless society where they control the purse strings and they control the ledger. Because once we go into the central bank digital currency and we get to the space where they control the ledger in terms of the universal basic income, they control your pension, they control your retirement. They're then going to basically put the vaccinations, all these things on the blockchain. So, oh, you didn't go get your 5th vaccine this year? Boom, you're locked out of the system. Oh, you didn't vote for the right people? Oh, you said the wrong things on social media? Boom, you're locked out of the system because everything will be digital. And you don't want to live in a digital world that's centralized. You want to live in a digital world that's decentralized. And this is the power of Web3. The house always wins. The economy is a big casino. When the Glass-Steagall Act was repealed, the stock market became a casino. Absolutely. Not just the Glass-Steagall Act, but also when you start understanding that when you start having the Fed, more importantly, be able to inject liquidity into the markets, you don't know what price discovery is, right? Because we don't know what's anything worth, because politicians don't want to allow the free market to actually behave the way that it needs to behave and let companies fail. So because we removed failure from out of the economy and no one can fail, well, then now companies can be reckless. They can pay out crazy bonuses because they know that you're not going to let them fail because they're too big to fail. So when you have politicians colluding, not just with banks, but look at the airline industry. Look at all of these different corporations that get government subsidies. And basically, even when they fuck up, even when they're incompetent, they still get bailed out by the federal government. They do nothing but stock buybacks. They don't invest in infrastructure. They don't invest in R&D. They don't pay their employees fair wages, but yet they get golden parachutes. And you watch this across all industries, not just banks, but across the board. It's a corrupt game and it's rigged because you have, and this is what happens with the Cantillon effect. Those that sit the closest to the money printer or power tend to benefit. And then they get to spend the inflation first and they become insulated. And that's what's happening right now. So now when you have new innovative corporations, because the way that the market should operate is that when you fail, you should have to file bankruptcy. And then basically people should be able to come and buy up your assets for pennies on a dollar. So if I'm a young up and coming entrepreneur, I should be able to take advantage of your mistakes and your mishaps. But because we have a rigged system, even when these corporations fuck up, they just go to the government and get a bailout. So now you create an incentive where, like, I don't have to pay my employees fair wages, right? I can evade taxes every chance I can get. I can then outsource whenever I want to, or get automation to do people's jobs. Oh yeah, and I just take all of the money. And this is what happens. So this is one of the biggest problems. And when we look at the stock market, there's no true price discovery, because how do we know what anything's worth when the Fed's out here buying assets rather than letting things fail? The only way out is through a parallel civilization. You can elaborate a little bit more. I don't really understand that part, Jorge. hmm Uh, do you foresee a big dip into a bear market developing within the next 6 to 12 months? The type of fundamental development with Audius seems to be very good for the market. I to be honest with you, right now I was telling you guys this. I believe that we're going to hit probably like $3.5 to $5 trillion in this bull market, and I believe going into Q1 is when we're really going to start to see shit hit the fan with the inflation that's in the economy, with the Fed having to decide if they're going to continue to monetize or raise interest rates. We have a lot of rumblings coming out of China right now where they're talking about trying to slow their economy down, potentially more lockdowns going into Q1. So I can definitely, the stock market being overextended. So I can see a lot of things on the horizon going into Q1 of 2022, Q2 of 2022. So I can see a major correction happening then. But as long as everything remains the same within these next 3 months, I believe that we're going to have an insane bull market. I believe that we're going to have a massive run up to $3.5 to $5 trillion. As long as we don't have more lockdowns, as long as the Fed doesn't raise any interest rates and nothing crazy happens, we should be fine. As long as things remain the way they are right now, for this quarter, we should be fine. Because remember, crypto is heavily correlated to the stock market. Now, there are some rumblings coming out of China with Evergrande, which is a real estate commercial development company, having problems with their bonds and their debt markets. Now, remember, that's what made 2008 happen, right? When Lehman Brothers, when they let Lehman Brothers fail, and then Bear Stearns failed, that's when everything, the contagion started to spread, the domino effect, right? So they're saying that that could potentially happen in China. And then remember, because we're interconnected, that could potentially spill over into other spaces. Now, I don't think it's going to be Lehman Brothers-esque, like on that level, but it could be something similar to that. So you just have to keep your eyes open. But as long as everything remains the same, we should go in a massive bull market. Remember, I don't recommend buying anything that's up 24%, right? I recommend buying things on a pullback. But sometimes in crypto, you may not want to miss out. So if I have 10,000 to invest, I may put $1,000 into it now and kind of chase it up and then wait for it to pull back and invest it. But I like to buy when the market is down, when there's a pullback, and then allow the market to run up. The market cap is $1 billion. The competitor's market cap is $46 billion. So when I'm basing my estimates, right, I'm saying, could Audius hit $10 billion? Potentially, right? So do a 10x on its price. You're talking about $28. Joel Hogan, Audius is a hybrid. There's aspects of Audius that's built on Ethereum because it has an ERC20 interface, and there's aspects that's built on Solana. It's a hybrid. Thoughts on Ren? Love it. Ren's one of my favorite cryptocurrencies. Been in it for a while, making some really good gains in Ren. Ren is solid technology, and it's needed technology. I like what Bryce just said. Audius has a habit of crashing hard after a pump. Invest at your own risk. Absolutely. You should never be chasing things higher. And if you are, like I said before, if you had 10,000 to invest 5 or 10% of your capital, your investable capital. Don't come running in here and dump all your money in at $2.84. Um, that's what I did. Malachi Baraka. I didn't sell my dot. I put money into Solana because I can see that there's a lot of venture capital in Solana and there's a lot of interest in Solana. I got in Solana. I started buying it at like $15, $30, $45, all in that area. As soon as we hit $200, we flipped Ripple. I sold it. I knew it would flip Ripple because Ripple's absolute shit. So I knew it would flip Ripple. And then once it flipped Ripple, boom, I started right on my live stream with my students. We had a community live Q&A. Soon as it hit $200, I said, when I get off here, I'm selling it. And I started selling. I sold it probably like 60% then. I sold like 10% in the 180s. So I still hold a little bit of it, but most of it I got out of it. And I took the money and I started buying back in the Polkadot. Because I believe that the future is multi-chain, right? A multi-chained world. I don't see a world where there's just one blockchain to rule them all. And when you look at Polkadot and you look at Cosmos, the whole idea of interoperability and creating bridges and having parallel chains run together, that's what's going to create the scalability that you want. And Ethereum trying to do that with the whole idea of the beacon chain and then having 64 sharded chains running in parallel. But ETH 2.0 realistically is probably like a year or two away. Like Polkadot and parachains are here right now. And I really believe that Polkadot's going to start shining in a major way. You know, I've been telling you guys about Polkadot since it was $5. And I believe that Polkadot has a massive, massive amount of potential. But remember, the more complexity that you add to your system, the larger the attack surface becomes for someone to potentially hack you or for a bug to bring down your entire blockchain. So we have to tailor our expectations. But if Polkadot can become what I think it is, you're talking about a multi-trillion-dollar cryptocurrency. What we do know is one of these base layer 1 protocols, or maybe 2 or 3 of them, they're going to flip Bitcoin. That we can agree on. Whether it's Ethereum, Cardano, Avalanche, Harmony, we don't know which one is going to be, Polkadot, etc. But we know Bitcoin's getting flipped. And that's not saying that Bitcoin's a scam. It's just saying that Bitcoin is technically limited and a store of value is a very, very, that's a niche use case. When we start looking at Polkadot, right? Polkadot allows you to have, you can have, with these power chains, think about it, or power threads, you can have one chain for a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin. You can have another chain for NFTs. You can have another chain specifically for smart contracts. You could have another chain specifically for payments. And all of these chains will be able to relay information and data back to each other. So right now, remember that the Bitcoin network cannot talk to the Ethereum network. The only way that you can get Bitcoin into Ethereum is you have to wrap it and create an ERC20. Well, if you had a parachain, you can now have, one blockchain specifically for a Bitcoin-esque cryptocurrency and another chain for smart contracts. And then you have the relay chain in the middle. And therefore now you'll be able to relay information back and forth across chain. So rather than having just one blockchain that can only do one thing, that can't talk to anyone, now you can start doing multiple things with different blockchains. That will increase throughput and that will increase scalability, having multiple chains run at one time. A Binance chain is garbage. Most of the shit that comes off of Binance Smart Chain is absolute garbage, and the Binance Smart Chain is garbage. It's just a centralized copy of Ethereum, right? There's not better coins. You can't say something is better that's copying, right? If all you're doing is copying and pasting and plagiarizing, you can't say that, well, I'm better than you, right? You're copying. And remember, the Binance Smart Chain is basically just a copy of the Ethereum virtual machine. That's it. Can you peep the Skycoin project? Seems like the best option for a decentralized internet system focused on privacy encryption, anti-censorship, majority ambitious citizens, mesh network. McAfee was endorsing it a ton before he uninstalled himself. Let's look at it right now. I'm not a fan of McAfee. I think he's a crook, but let's go Skycoin. All right, look it up. So it's ranked 677th. All right, get it all the time. So it had a run up here to $50 and then it dumped hard. So that's not good. See what exchanges is listed on. On Binance. So it's not on a lot of exchanges. So the platform is distributed computing. file sharing and storage, right? So let's click on this tab and see what's going on here. So it's in this space. Is getting his ass kicked in a major way. Market cap is $28 million. So a lot of opportunity there in terms of market cap, but the price action is horrible. Go here and see what they got going on here. What is Skycoin? Obelisk, hardware download, white papers. Where's the team at? The roadmap. Yeah, I'm not really liking what I'm seeing here. We go team. These are the architects of the new internet, the most advanced blockchain application platform in the world. We trust them and they will deliver. Then, okay. So we don't see any of like venture capital investors in here, right? So we don't see like Coinbase Ventures or something similar to that. So I'm being honest, it's not really looking that good. Let's look at this guy, read his bio. What's Synth's name? Okay, so we don't know Synth's full name. Synth, one of the earliest contributors behind Bitcoin, started Skycoin 8 years ago with a vision of creating a new decentralized internet. He sits on the advisory boards of several cryptocurrency projects. Synth, okay, who is Synth? Okay, so that's not good. Who's Synth? Key advisors. So let's go on LinkedIn and see who Michael Turpin is. Yeah, I'm not liking this. Looks like a piece of shit. Not gonna lie to you, sir. Looks like a piece of shit. Founder and CEO of Transfer Group, leading company, blockchain advisory, PR and investment events with 300 plus clients, recognized as a top 5 advisor and top 100 blockchain. All right, so let's see what he's been involved in. I spent my career innovating in PR. Currently, I run Transform Group, World Gender, Blockchain, ICO. Yeah, this is shit. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is bullshit. I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't touch it at all. As soon as I see this guy, he's the world leader in blockchain and ICO PR and advisory services. Bullshit. I wouldn't put $1 into it. So combined with the price action that we're seeing and the people that's involved in it, I wouldn't want to be involved in it. Like when I'm looking to invest, I'm heavy on the team of developers and the people behind it and their acumen in the space. Like when I look at Polkadot, I always use Polkadot as an example just because it's easy to reference, right? So like when I come here and I pull this up, like, and I come and I go to about, and I see these people, and then I look up someone like Gavin Wood, and I look at the fact that he's been with Ethereum. So for example, like his name is actually here, like his full name, not Synth. Like I want you to think about it. Like when we look at these people, look at this, Synth. What's Synth's name? Like what's his full name, right? When I come here and I look at this, we see Dr. Gavin Wood. That's the guy in the middle. So we got his name now, Dr. Gavin Wood. Okay, he's a doctor. Great, he has a PhD. I like that. Gavin began originating blockchain technology as a co-founder and CTO of Ethereum. I like that. He's one of the founders of Ethereum. He was the chief technology officer of Ethereum. He invented fundamental components of the blockchain industry, including Solidity, Proof of Authority Consensus, and Whisper. At Parity, Gavin currently leads innovation on Substrate and Polkadot. He coined the term Web 3.0 in 2014 and serves as the president of the Web3 Foundation. I like that because I'm sitting here talking to you about the Web 3.0. So not only did the actual language for smart contracts on Ethereum, he created that. He actually wrote the Ethereum yellow paper. So this guy is huge in terms of his innovation his mind and his experience in the industry, because the technology that he created is currently the second largest cryptocurrency in the world, which is Ethereum. And now he's moved on from Ethereum to Polkadot. That's the kind of shit I want to put my money into. I want to bank on Gavin Wood solving the problems that Ethereum is having, because he's really one of the major components and creators of Ethereum. So now by him moving on from Ethereum, creating Polkadot, I believe that he's going to create something amazing. And guess what? He did that. That's something I want to bank on. That's someone I want to invest in, right? I don't want to be investing in a guy named Synth, right? So, don't want to do that. Investing in guy Synth. So, I thank you for the donation. I don't want to be an asshole or a dick, but it's just like, you know, I wouldn't put no money in this project. Now again, this crypto, I'm not saying they can't pump. I've watched Dogecoin. I thought Dogecoin would be dead by now, and Dogecoin keeps on keeping. I thought Ripple would be dead by now too, and it keeps on going. Because listen, you arm millions of people with a stimulus check, they'll go and do some dumb shit with it. You can bank on that. So could Skycoin pump? Absolutely, but based on the technology and the things that I'm seeing, I wouldn't touch it. Doesn't look good to me. And then when you look at that chart, like this right here, no. Because think about it, the market has recovered and this cryptocurrency hasn't. That should tell you all you need to know, is the fact that the market hasn't recovered. Thoughts on Telos? I've heard of that. I'm not really well versed in it, but we can look at it and see what it's doing. See what's going on here. Oh, look. Great price action. Great price action. So that's good to see. Look at over the past 3 months. So now, look at the difference between this chart and the chart of Skycoin. And we're not even getting into the technicals and what the coin can do. Just look at the price action. If the market's recovering, your cryptocurrency should be recovering, right? If Bitcoin went all the way down to 28,000, Ethereum went down to 1,700, and now Ethereum's back at 34, 3,500, 3,600, Bitcoin's at 46, 48,000, then your cryptocurrency's chart should reflect that, right? You should see price action recovering and going up. It shouldn't be going down. That's not what you want to see when the market's recovering. So the price action looks pretty good here. Okay, that's good to see. What industry are they in? View all. Okay. So there's a medium of exchange, services, enterprise solution, zero knowledge proofs. I like that. When I hear of ZKPs, I like that. That's the technology that's going to scale these blockchains. Oh, looks like I went out. Am I back? I went out for a second. Okay, I should be back. Type 1, guys. Am I back? Okay, I'm back. So, when I see zero knowledge proofs, ZKPs, I love that. Right? That's zero knowledge proofs are extremely important. This is what's going to scale most cryptocurrencies, utilizing zero knowledge proofs. So, Binance Smart Chain, I don't like that. Platform EOS, don't like that at all. Don't like. Looks like I keep dropping in and out. I keep dropping in and out. So it looks like I'm back. Okay. I'll see. If I drop out one more time, I'm just going to end the stream. But I like what I'm seeing so far as far as his EKPs. But I think that this project's kind of like all over the place. It's an ambitious project, right? Look at the market cap, though. So I like this. Early, $230 million. So it definitely has some room to run. 263. Okay. So this is ranked 263. It's an ambitious project. It's in a lot of different spaces. I like that. Price action looks good. Let's come here. Website looks clean. Fast, scalable, decentralized finances here with Telos. Okay, I like that. I'm not even looking at how many coins is in circulation, any of that stuff. I like what I'm seeing so far. Obviously, I would dive much deeper, but so far, I like what I'm seeing. Right here. Look at this. Meet the team. Okay. Look at this. Look how different this looks. Justin, you have Lillian, you have George, you have Rory. Great. I like what I'm seeing here. I like what I'm seeing. People that I can verify who they are, I can look them up. Okay. Full list of active core devs. Okay. Look at this. This is good. I like this. I like what I'm seeing so far. Go to their GitHub page. This is what I like to see. I'm interested now. Transparency. Okay. Well, looks decent. It passed the smell. It passed the initial. Should I even waste my time looking at it? Let's see the actual coins in circulation, like the circulating supply. So got 270 million circulating supply, right? Total supply is 355 million. Okay. It looks decent. I don't know too much about the technology. I would obviously have to spend about a week looking into it. But just from initially looking at it, it doesn't look like a scam. It doesn't look like bullshit. Like it doesn't look like Boost Coin or Sky Coin. So looks pretty decent. Price action's good. Let's see where it's listed at. It's not listed on Binance yet. It's not listed on Coinbase. So you'll be buying it before everyone. It's on PancakeSwap. The only thing, like I said, I don't like anything that has to do with the fact that I don't know exactly what they have to do with EOS. It says platform. I don't know exactly if it's built on EOS, because if it's built on EOS, then that's a problem, right? So, EOS is not a good platform. So, but look solid. Look solid from the initial stuff. Obviously, I would have to do a deeper dive, look at their applications, look at the token metrics and tokenomics and things of that nature. But I don't see anything wrong with the initially looking at it. The Neologic, you'll be the last one. I'll look at the last one because I'm gonna hop off here. I don't want this thing to go too long. Thoughts on XYO network as a project and its proof of origin structure. It's associated with the Coin app, a gamified way to earn XYO tokens through POO. See what this is about. So, the EOS platform, though, is not a good platform to build things on top of. This says FTT. Okay, so XYO. Woo! Look at that pump. Damn. Sheesh. You made some gains. Don't really know what it's doing. Yeah, it's not. They don't really have a lot of information on CoinMarketCap. Is this a DAO? Is this a DAO? Okay, this looks interesting. I'm definitely gonna do some research on this project. This looks interesting. Okay, technology, network overview. Okay, this looks interesting. Okay, this got my attention. This looks interesting. I would have to do this. This seems like a really complex project. I would have to do more research. I'll have to do this. This seems like a really, really complex project. I like this project. It has my attention. I'll get back to you. The Neo Logic. This is something I'm interested in, and it's on Coinbase. What's the market cap? 448 million. So this has some room to run. It's on Uniswap as well. And hold it in your MetaMask wallet. I'm interested. I'm interested in a major way. I will get back to you with this on when I get a chance. Definitely. You follow me on Instagram. Remind me so that I don't forget. I have a lot of things going on. Definitely. Remind me of that tomorrow if you can. I'm going to hop on this. I'm interested in this project. Interested in a major way. With that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Please do me a favor. Like the video, share the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Please make sure that you join my mailing list so that you can be notified via email whenever I go live. You can also follow me on Instagram. My link is below. If you're interested in learning about this technology, how to store it, how to develop it, build it, how to buy it, sell it, how to put together a portfolio, how to do good research on projects. This is why I created My Tech Academy. You're welcome to come test it out. We have a free 3-day trial. Also, lifetime membership. The price is going up. So if you want to be a lifetime member, you have 4 days. Like Fat Joe said, yesterday's price isn't today's price. So trust me when I tell you, come Monday, the price of the lifetime membership is increasing. So for those of you who want to become a lifetime member, simply click the top or DM me on Instagram if you want more information or questions. Also, for those of you who are grandfathered in, right? For those of you who are on a $50 plan, you can get a 50% discount on the lifetime membership. Remember, you don't have to pay full price. So come into the Slack group. Let me know that you want to get a lifetime membership because prices will be going up. With that being said, everyone, have a blessed and beautiful night.